Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome all of you to 312 meeting of Speakers Den Toastmaster Club. My name is Toastmaster Lalita and I'll be the Sergeant at Arms in today's meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want to remind everyone that this meeting will be recorded. Some parts of the meeting may also be used for the promotional material later. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules that will follow during the course of this meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. If you're to move during the meeting, please turn off your camera. Third, please be mindful from addressing sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting. Support and encourage the fellow speakers by turning on your camera and warm smiles and claps. Use Zoom reaction button to express yourself during the meeting. As you're aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmaster has a mission. Our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment so that each member of our club can develop the leadership and communication skills, which will help to boost the self-confidence and personal growth. Now, let me welcome our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay. Tanmay is a senior analyst with Flipkart in weekdays and an explorer on weekends, either exploring the city or the new recommendations on OTT. He has been a Toastmaster since 2019 and he has served in PR for club area and division. Currently, he is the president of Speakers Den Toastmaster Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Sergeant Arms Toastmaster Lalita. A very good morning to one and all. Good morning, folks. Hope you have had your breakfast and your coffee.
Good morning, Tanmay.
Good morning.
Good morning. I would request everyone to please come on camera if possible. And if you are in a situation where you cannot turn on your camera, it's all right. But you can feel free to unmute yourself whenever required. You can raise your hand using a reaction button if you want to add anything to the meeting. And may I also please request OnePlus Nord 2 5G to rename themselves because we all know the phone. Now, today's meeting, we are all here in this meeting number 312 of the Speakers Den Toastmasters Club. And I, as the president of this club, officially open this meeting with the bang of this pen acting as a gavel. The meeting number 312 is in session now. Now, may I ask one question? We all are here. Few of us are Toastmasters, few of us are guests. So let me ask you one question. Who can tell me when the Toastmasters was officially chartered? This is my favorite question to ask in every meeting. So please feel free to unmute yourself.
In the year 1924?
Yes, Chetna, 5 points to Gryffindor. And the correct answer is 1924. That's when a gentleman named Ralph C. Smedley organized the first Toastmasters meeting at YMCA, California. And since then, Toastmasters spread across multiple countries. Not just in this small geography of India, we have multiple districts, multiple regions across the world with thousands of members across 100+ countries. And today we all are here as part of its chapter Speakers Den Toastmasters, which is now nearly a decade-old club. Can someone tell me when was Speakers Den first started? Anyone except Sankhya? I think he was here at the Big Bang as well.
2018.
2012?
2012 is the right answer. And I think people picked up on it's been a decade. So yes, we have had 10 years of successful meetings. We have our ups and downs, but the main thing is that we are still standing strong and we are going strong so far. Now, today we are having this meeting number 312. We already had 3 centuries and we are going every weekend. We are going for a new record of having number of successful meetings. And today's meeting is no different than that. We'll jump to this meeting shortly and I will hand over this meeting back to our Toastmaster of the day. But before, let me invite our guest in the meeting today with a round of applause with everyone at this club. And may I please request you to unmute yourself and come forward and introduce yourself in 30 seconds. Who would like to go first in the guest?
I can go first.
Thank you, Praveen. So you have 30 seconds to tell me 3 answers. to answer to 3 questions basically.
Okay.
About yourself,
Mhm.
what do you do, and what do you want to gain from joining Speakers and Toastmasters or Toastmasters in general? Over to you.
Okay. Can you please repeat again? What I do
Something about yourself,
about myself?
so that
What
people
I
will
do?
remember you something unique.
Okay.
What do you like to do, like in your hobbies and all? And third,
Okay.
what do you want to gain from joining a Toastmaster club? Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, it feels great to be here as a part of the Speakers and Toastmasters Club. So my name is Praveen. I'm a software engineer, and I'm working as a software engineer in an MNC for quite some time, actually, more than a decade. And so basically, I am from Andhra, but I was born and brought up in Chennai, so fluent in both Tamil and Telugu, both. And my one thing which I like the most is literature. So I like reading, especially history is my most favorite subject. So I've been researching on Maratha Empire and Vijayanagara Empire for quite some time. So I'm planning to write some books on it. So it's still in the initial phase, but maybe it will take a decade to complete the book. So and what I would like to gain so basically I'm trying to improve my storytelling skills actually. So I'm planning to give a few story telling sessions actually in a place where I know, or probably the place where I'm right now. So this is a hostel kind of setup. It's there in Vasantnagar called Local Uptown. It's a wonderful place to be. So if you get time, feel free to drop in and then have a gist of the vibes here. So I'm currently in the common area. So we are planning to have a kind of 1 hour storytelling session regarding the Maratha Empire, especially 18th century. So yeah, so the primary motive is to improve my communication skills as well as the public speaking skills, to be precise, storytelling skills actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you for being here with us today. And I believe you will need at least a decade to encapsulate the centuries of history of Maratha Empire. And that definitely fascinates me as well. So if you are
Yes.
hosting a virtual session, count me in.
Yeah, sure. And for a kind information, today is the birth anniversary of Chhatrapati Shivaji. He was born on February 19, 1630.
Oh, that is amazing. I did not know that. So
Founder
thank
of
you very
Maratha.
much for
Yes.
enriching us with this knowledge.
Yes.
And Jai Shivaji. Now,
Jai
moving
Bhavani.
on. Jai Bhavani. Now, moving on towards our next guest, may I please request guest Suresh to unmute himself and answer 3 questions. First, about yourself. Second, what do you want to gain from Toastmaster Club? And third, is this your first time at Toastmasters? Over to you.
Yeah, this is Suresh. Good morning. This is Suresh from Vijayanagara. Basically, I am a mechanical engineer and I owns a business in air conditioning and specialized air conditioning for pharmaceuticals companies. We do build pharma companies and modular operation theaters for hospitals. And into this business since last 20 years, and what I should gain from is that to improve upon the public speaking, and that's a main motto to me to gain from the Toastmasters. And this is third meeting what I am attending. 2 of them are offline meetings, and this is the first meeting online I'm attending, and to get into which mode we would like to be, and then which is convenience to me. So that's a motto to join online meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Suresh, for introducing yourself to the club. For the benefit of the guests, let me tell you about our mode of meetings as well at this point. We generally meet online, but we also have alternate hybrid meetings depending on the availability of our members. So we circulate internal voting link on basis the availability. We do have a venue in Indiranagar near the Indiranagar metro station. So next time we are meeting offline, you can also join us there. We go hybrid, not completely offline, so that guests and members who are in different parts of the country can also join in and are not devoid of any experience of the Speakers and Toastmasters Club. Next, may I please request our guest Tarun to unmute himself and introduce himself to the club in less than 30 seconds.
Well, hi. Thank you very much, Shankya, is it? That's the name? How do I pronounce that? Shankya. Yeah. Shankya, for introducing me as a guest today. And what is that I'm looking for? I'm looking for, of course, developing my communication skill, probably developing my networking skill, although I have some, but then enhancing those skills. That's what I'm looking out for. What I do, well, I work for a investment banking company, and incidentally, Shankya Adarsh is my boss. So yes, so I work for
Okay.
that company. And the next thing, what you asked, Tanmay, is what? What is that you want to?
Is this your first time at a Toastmaster meeting?
Well, it is my second time in Toastmaster. I've attended a couple of, I think the first one I attended with Impression Toastmaster or something. So this is my second chance to opt as a guest. So yeah. And interests, what are my interests?
Yes.
Well, there are varied. There is nothing which I don't like. So everything, to adventure sports, to trekking, to reading, everything. And bits and pieces, I like everything.
That is amazing. A jack of all, a master of none, but being
Yes.
good at all is better than being good at one. That is amazing. Thank you, Tarun, for joining us today. We have more guests, but we will be taking them further guest introductions we move between our prepared speech to table topic session. And Timot, please take a note for introducing the other guests as well. For the benefit of guests, may I please request you to stay till the end of the meeting so that you enjoy the most out of this meeting. We have a guest-specific session as well, which are table topics, where anyone can volunteer and come forward to speak on any topic. And today's table topic is going to be special. It's related to our theme. So without further ado, let me introduce our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, our MC of this meeting number 312, who is an HR by profession, a wonderful lady who has mastered the sergeant at arms. Because like if I have to choose any person in my dream 11 of having the role taker, she is definitely going to my sergeant at arms. And today she is going to showcase her excellent skills as the Toastmaster of the day. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Lalita. Lalita, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for that wonderful introduction. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I'm Lalita, and I'll be your Toastmaster of the day. Books are our best friends. So how many of you agree with this quote? Yes. So can any one of you volunteer? Like, why do you love to read books, and what was the last book that you read? Anyone can volunteer? Yes, Tanmay.
They are an escape from our mundane lives of work and reading our emails. They gave us an escape. They introduce us to the new, if you are reading fiction, they introduce you to new worlds, new realities which do not exist in this world. And if you're reading non-fiction, they also help you in developing your life. And the last book, or the book that I'm currently reading, is How to Make Friends. And the last book that I read was Ikigai. Thank you, Lalit.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Well, I read books as well. So I think the last one is there somewhere here. Yeah, what I feel is reading book, you become the producer of your film, per se, the book. So that is interesting for me. So I read varied kind of books, fiction to biographies to everything. The latest one which I'm reading is it's The Thread of Hope. I want to see who the author is, but then not in particular anything like that.
But why do you love to read books?
Well, it gives me an imagination. I explore imagination through the book. So as I said in the beginning, I will be the sole producer of the scenes around the book.
Right. Thank you, Tarun Kumar, for sharing your inputs. Anyone else would like to volunteer?
I can go next.
Sure.
Yeah. So actually, there's a famous saying. So a reader never lives a single life. So he lives millions of lives, or as many lives he reads actually. So first thing, if you want to get exposed to a life of a different person who doesn't belong to the same work environment or birthplace or anything for that matter. So reading is always the best place to have a exposure to an entirely different person, continent, life. And as the saying goes, a reader never lives a single life. He lives multiple lives, or as many lives as he reads, actually. And the last book which I read was actually Brave Hearts of Bharat, written by one of the fabulous historians of our recent times, Vikram Sampath. He's a Bangalore-based historian. I hope people might have heard his name. So that was one. So these are the kind of, especially the famous kings who have been not made into the mainstream history. So our history is Delhi centric. So this is a decentralization of history in its terms. So people from Kashmir, Lalitaditya, so one of the greatest rulers of our country from Kashmir, and then you have Rani Chennamma, and then Rani Abbaka, and then you have another many kings who have been not given their due place, and then the Ahom kingdoms, Lachit Borphukan from the Ahom kingdom of the northeast, to say a few. So my recommendation would be have a look at it. So it will be a great exposure for you, actually, especially non-Delhi centric history book, Brave Hearts of Bharat.
Thank you, Praveen, for sharing your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Anyone
Lalita,
else?
before you're going forward, I would like to show you the book, which is the latest one, the 7 mistakes of mistake investor makes. And the book which I was referring was The Fragile Thread of Hope by Pankaj Giri. This is the latest which I'm reading currently. So just thought I'll give you a picture of which book I'm reading currently.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to volunteer?
As per me, reading books, it helps you to generally broaden your perspective about how you look at things, and it helps you to think from a different angle, because we, as human beings, we all think in one direction. By reading books, you get wider knowledge, and it helps you to think from different perspective. And the recent book which I had read was You Can Win, written by Shiv Khera.
So what was this book on, Chaitanya?
Generally about how you need to have a positive thinking, and how you need to, like anything you want to achieve in life, you have to affirm. Just by working hard, it doesn't work out. You have to affirm, and you have to believe that it will work out. And then along with that, you need to put in your effort.
Right.
That's what this whole book talks about.
Thank you, Chaitanya, for sharing your thoughts. So before the electronic era, everyday reading was a ritual that almost everyone who wanted to gain knowledge adopted. But nowadays, we have been so preoccupied with social media and the internet that we hardly get time to read books. Now, moving ahead with the meeting, I would like to explain how a Toastmaster session is conducted. Any Toastmaster session is divided into 3 parts. So the first part consists of prepared speeches, where members prepare in advance for a 5 to 7 minute speech, and where the evaluator evaluates them. The second part is a fun-filled table topic session, where anyone from the audience can come up and give a 1 to 2 minute speech on a topic given by the table topic master. And the third part is the most important evaluation section, where our general evaluator for the day will give a report on the entire meeting of today. So having said that, I would like to invite our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Mansi. As a professional and working woman, she has been recognized with the Young Achievers Award in 2021 in Professional Development and Contribution to Nation Building, Young Woman Icon 2022, Global Choice Awards and National Achievers Award in Professional Development, Intellectual Excellence and National Development by National Achievement National Forum. Currently serving as VP Ed of Capital Land Toastmasters Club and VP PR of Speakers Den. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Lalita, for that beautiful introduction. I would request you next time to correct some of the words there, but that's okay. Thank you. So today I'll be playing the role of general evaluator. Any guesses? What am I going to do? What's my role? Very quick. All those who are already Toastmasters.
We give a report on the entire meeting. So what went well and what could be improved on.
Yes, that's it. You don't have to do my job. Just give a guess. I guess Vikas also has the same answer. Okay. So what I am going to
Yes.
do is I'm going to take notes of what went well, what was well prepared, what was not organized for each and every segment of the meeting throughout the whole meeting duration. So today we have a theme, we have role takers, what was the initial takeaways, and I'll be presenting my report after that whole meeting. And there's a report which is given by our Toastmasters website. For that, I will always need associates or helping hands, and those are my team, which is tag team. T stands for timer rule, A stands for our counter, and G stands for grammarian. I would like to call upon stage today's timer. Timer, please introduce yourself and your role to the Toastmasters and guests. So today's timer, please come up on the stage.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. I completely forgot that I am the timer today with all these roles. Apologies for that. So folks, today my role is to keep track of the times taken by the prepared speakers as well as the table topics master and the evaluators in today's meeting. And to do so, I would be using 3 cards. Let me demonstrate the cards as well. Once you hit the lower limit, the screen will turn green. Then next, the screen will turn yellow, and at the last screen will turn red. You can pin myself, or I will raise my hand to be at the top of today's list. Now, once the screen turns red, you would have 30 seconds grace period to wrap up to conclude your speech. So please take a note of that. For speeches, our standard timing is 5 to 7 minutes, and with grace period, it would be till 7:30. For table topics, it is 1 to 2 minutes with grace period of 30 seconds. And for evaluations, it's 2 to 3 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. When called upon, I would be presenting the report of today's timer. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Tanmay and presiding officer today. So he's taken up this role impromptu. We were short of some of the role takers, and I would say kudos to him for taking that. Now let me call upon the stage our counter and grammarian, Toastmaster Chetna. But before she comes, I would like to introduce her in a very short format. She's born and brought up in Bangalore, and she previously worked with TCS and now currently working as a finance analyst by her professional journey since 3 years. She's been a postgraduate in international business, and her hobbies includes reading books, craft work, and she loves numbers. I hope you help us all together in this meeting and me as a team member and support me as the grammarian and our counter. Over to you, Toastmaster Chetna.
For any communication to be effective, it's important to have the right pronunciation. Now, by using of crutch words, fillers, and also repeated phrases, it hinders the flow of communication and the communication is not clear. So today, as an counter, I will be making note of the crutch words, pauses, and fillers which are used by the various speakers, and I will be presenting my report towards the end of the meeting. Coming to my grammarian role. As we all know, grammar is very important in our day-to-day life while communicating. It's not just important to communicate, but also to use the right sentence and word in the right context. So today, as a grammarian, I will be making note of the various good usage and not so good usage words used by the various speakers. And as a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So today's word of the day is phenomenal, which means unusually great or extraordinary. The launch of a product has been a phenomenal success. Request each speaker to use this word of the day. Towards the end of the meeting, I would be submitting my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetna, for explaining your role and giving us the word of the day and being that type member for me. Now, I would like to call upon back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lalita, to go ahead with the meeting proceedings.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for your introduction as well as the tag team introduction. Moving to the first section of our meeting, which is prepared speeches. Our first speaker for the day is Toastmaster Madhav. He is by profession cyber consultant. He likes to read articles, sing a song, solve mathematical puzzle in his first time. But before I invite him on stage, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sankhya to read out his speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalita. So our target speaker is presenting his first speech from the presentation mastery. And this is the icebreaker. So the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. So I wish all the best to the speaker, and over to you, Toastmaster Lalita.
Please help me welcome Toastmaster Madhav. Thought process that makes and breaks you. Thought process that makes and breaks you, Toastmaster Madhav. Toastmaster Madhav.
We can't hear you, Toastmaster Madhav. Can you check your mic?
I think you're on mute, Toastmaster Madhav. Yeah, now it's fine.
Madhav, I believe that there are some audio challenges on your side. Would it be possible for you to rejoin the audio? We will wait for 2 minutes. Yeah.
Am I audible to everyone? Apologies for the inconvenience. Cool. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Sorry for the disturbance. So actually, I'm breaking the ice. You can see today is my first speech. And as usual, everyone, if you look at my background, so as given some instruction towards me that I have to introduce myself. So I was thinking about how I will introduce myself. I was having too many contents to express my views, but I thought let it be very crisp and concrete so that I can make my audience, engage whatever I am speaking today. So my name is Madhav Madhukar. I come from a very humble background. Basically, my native place is in Jharkhand, and there is a city called Sahibganj, and Sahibganj is near Ganga River. So I born there, but not brought up there. So I spent most of my days in my boarding schools where I started my the thing which I am today. For example, whenever you explore in the new world, your parents is there to have you, and they will guide you what to do in your future. So as usual, I shifted to my boarding schools where I started my knowledge gaining sessions, you can say. I started, I just got admitted in a school where everyone was, they were very enthusiastic towards their study. I was a very normal kid, and I was a kid who was, very shy. But I thought, let me come out from this background. My father is spending so much money on me, and I need to invest something towards my goal. So I started reading a lot. After that, and it was a background wherein you were not getting so much exposure what you were supposed to do. So as we see in today's era that most of the children are getting high-fi knowledge, high-fi, because there are a lot of extracurricular activities which is there in the school. But in my school, that was not available. But I tried my level best to get all those opportunities wherever I was. There used to happen some kind of any kind of extracurricular activities. It may be like maybe writing skills, or maybe any sort of speech competition. I started taking part on all those things. And after that, I did my 10th, 12th, and graduation, post-graduation, and I'm here today. So currently working with Deloitte as a deputy manager. Previously, I was working with PwC. I'm hesitant towards speaking, so I connected well-known Toastmaster, Mr. Sankhya, and I got this opportunity to speak in front of you. I believe that in some time, I will be a best speaker. I have started gaining all my knowledge here and trying to deliver my speech in a very good way. Now, coming back to the thought that the third speech is thought that makes and it breaks you. So you can see any person in this world, whosoever has joined this group, they are having multiple thoughts in their mind. You cannot break from the thoughts. So whatever you are today, that is only because of your thought. If you are not thinking in a right way, you should not be here, right? So I was the same person. Every second, every moment, I was having thousands of thoughts, and I was thinking how to break these thoughts. So I started, watching a lot of motivational videos, a lot of readings I started, and then I come to the conclusion, okay, that thought that makes and breaks you. How I did that challenge, if I want to become a cyber consultant, right? I wanted to become a cyber consultant. What I did, I started thinking about cyber consultant, how I will become the consultant who can give you a more perspective knowledge, who can give you a best framework to guide your organization. So I started thinking upon those areas, and somewhere around I got an opportunity to, I did MBA from cyber. I started working with PwC. I started working with Deloitte post PwC. And here I saw a lot of challenges in my working organization. I see a lot of problems, and we have to suggest multiple solutions. And client is going to, give you the best part of whatever knowledge you are sharing. They will directly reject you. So again, you have to come up with the best solution and give your best. Every day is a challenge for you. So what I do, I try to build my thought process in such a way so that I can come up with a better solution. The beautiful example would be like, for example, you are sleeping and your father comes at a night and slap you. What is your name? What is your father name? You will directly tell your father name, right? Why? Because you have thought that thing multiple times. The same way you have to do in your life as well. You have to think upon, and then you have to deliver your way. So I believe this is the best way to break your journey, to break your way, and to make your way. So I believe this is the best thing that you can do. Even I'm married, my wife is like, sometimes she's worried about her life. I told her that you can make your life by thinking upon whatever you want to be in your life. This is the best way you can do. So I am just concluding my speech over here. Maybe I would have made multiple mistakes, but I know by thinking a lot, I will build someday in a better way and in a better situation. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhav, for the icebreaker speech. So in Speakers Zone, we have a practice, like if anyone is giving the icebreaker speech, like everyone will stand. So I think everyone can stand and so a second speaker for the day is Toastmaster Pasha. He's a cosmetic orofacial surgeon. I've been in dentistry for 22 years. He has 3 multi-speciality innovative dental clinics and implant center. He has authored and published 2 books released and published worldwide, now currently available on Amazon and Aditi Books. He loves helping people to chase their dreams. But before I invite him on stage, I would like to invite Toastmaster Kajal to read out his speech objectives. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Kajal.
So instead of Toastmaster Kajal, I will be the evaluator for the second.
Okay, so, and I also wanted to know what is the speech title? Dr. Pasha?
I have sent it to, sir. Once I will send you.
Okay. I think Sankhya, by the time, meantime, like you can just read out the speech objectives.
Okay. So the target speaker will be evaluating, and will be presenting a speech which is about the leadership, and it will consider the experience of working with the leader that he will be evaluating, and he will be giving up a thoughtful response to on his overall experience. So I wish all the best to the target speaker.
Please help me welcome Toastmaster Pasha. The only power worth having is self-power. The only power worth having is self-power. Toastmaster Pasha.
What we are, from audience, anybody please, what we are. What we made up of.
We are,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we are
Yes,
what
sir.
we think we are.
Good.
Yes.
Anybody else?
What do you think in the past? What do you thought that you are today?
Yes.
In simple terms, we are our body and mind. We are matter, energy, influence. With good body and mind comes energy. With sound mind and body comes energy plus influence. We humans, our course of time, we develop ourselves. We build our inner self. The phenomenal power which arises from our inner self is called as self-power. The only power worth having is self-power. Why? Because we built it ourselves, step by step, on the basis of value-based thinking and doing. What is the importance of self-power? Self-power is the foundation to self-mastery. The only victory ones have is win over our own mind. We can become master of ourselves. We can know we have power over our mind. We accept what we can't control. Thereby, we can avoid anxiety and stress. We can lead a happy and healthy lives. With self-power, we can become more independent and free. See, one thing we do, the most important is we cannot be manipulated. We cannot be manipulated. So power attracts money and wealth and comfort. It is the power, self-power, which builds all the ingredients, so-called ingredients of success, like perseverance, passion, greed, focus, concentration, your IQ, your EQ, all are byproduct of our self-power. See, the only power having worth is self-power. One more question to your audience. We are gathered here today in Toastmaster. Why? Why we have gathered here? Why we are all gathered here?
To improve ourselves.
Very good. To improve ourselves, to become powerful communicators, to become powerful listeners, to become powerful, efficient leaders. So the ultimate aim is to acquire knowledge, to become powerful. So I have a story to share you how I am becoming powerful communicator day by day. But if time permits, I will share you. See, before that, so how I developed myself or how I became powerful. Simple 4-step, I will share you the secret, simple four-stage process. First, I decided to become powerful. Afterwards, I slowly become interested and committed to find out the reasons why I am powerless. What are the reasons for my powerless? So after a lot of self-introspection and self-study and pondering, here are my reasons. I had some weaknesses. I had thyroid. I was put on weight. I weighed 110 kgs. I looked like a Henry. No, that Rizzler was like I was 110 kg. I had a chronic pain syndrome. I found out my reasons. I started working on that. I overcome all these things. I had mental blocks. I had my own self-imposed limitations. I had some misbeliefs that were injected and ingrained in my mind by society over time. One after other, I found out. I started working on it and I started removing on it. The best example is how I overcome my mental block of speaking in English. Through years, someway, society ingrained in my mind that I could not speak a fluent English. Just 1 year ago, before I joining Toastmaster, I was afraid to speak in English. I would always avoid conversation in English. But I decided to join Toastmaster. I am improving slowly. I practiced it. I worked on it. I removed it. I removed my mental block. Now I am in the way of becoming phenomenal speaker. Phenomenal speaker. See, my final message is the power is on the other side of removing your mental blocks. Work on it, remove it, become powerful, from powerful to become phenomenal. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pasham, for the wonderful speech. I agree with you, like we had to overcome our weakness and mental block. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Pasham. Our third speaker for the day is Toastmaster Ayush. He's a business analyst working in a startup in Hyderabad. He likes to travel and explore places, read books, and dance. But before I invite him on stage, I would like to invite Toastmaster Tanmay to read out his speech objective.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalita, for inviting me to introduce the speech objective for our target speaker, Toastmaster Ayush from Gabby's Club. Today, Ayush is going to present his level 3 speech on the elective of presentation mastery pathway. The purpose of the speech is to present a collection of humorous stories and weave them into a speech that includes humor for the audience. The timing for this is 5 to 7 minutes, and I would be evaluating Ayush on the basis of below parameters, including clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gesture, audience awareness, comfort level, interest, and humor. With this, I wish my target speaker best of luck. Over to you, Timot.
Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ayush, Big Fat Indian Weddings. Big Fat Indian Weddings, Toastmaster Ayush.
Am I visible properly?
Yes, you are.
So how many of you here love going to weddings? I love that too. After all, who doesn't like unlimited free food, right? And about the people who are getting married, most of the times we don't even know their names. But it doesn't matter. Today I'm going to tell you a story. It was my best friend's wedding. And since he belonged to a community that liked to flaunt its riches, I'd assumed it was to be a grand wedding. Moreover, it was in Goa, so I was all set for a destination wedding, excited to spend the next 3 days in a resort with multiple flamboyant events and a huge platter of dishes. But when I went there, I saw it was nothing as I'd expected. There was no resort. We stayed in some beachside cottages. There were not many people, but just a few close friends and family. And even in food, it was mainly some Goan dishes. It was a very small wedding. I was very disappointed. Like, who gets married like that? I told my friend, you belong to such a wealthy community. Your wedding should have been grand, which it was not. Indian wedding industry is a $50 billion industry, and we have worked so hard to make it that big. It is one of the biggest in the world, and we should all contribute to it. After all, the big fat Indian weddings are world famous, and we should keep up that image. And how will it survive if people start getting married like my best friend did? Weddings are an integral part of the Indian society. Parents start planning it before the child is born. The relatives self invite themselves, and there are numerous events planned over days and weeks. How you get your child married is a matter of pride for any family. They're willing to go to any extent for it. They may think multiple times for spending on growth and learning of their children, but weddings, nope, there's not even a matter of thought. FDs get broken up without blink of an eye. And we have all seen weddings of big businessmen and celebrities, and we have all the right to match it. After all, it is a matter of pride. Everyone should remember how big the party was. Everyone should know how much money we have. And it doesn't matter what happens after that. Even if we have to exhaust our life savings, we can always live below our means. And if we take a loan, we can always repay it back in a couple of decades. So I'm not able to understand what the problem is. I went and asked my friend why he had such a small wedding, and all he had was some very stupid answers. He said something about saving for a better married life. I was shocked at how misguided he is. Doesn't he know that wedding is the most important day in a person's life? All the happiness in the world depends on it, and how people see also depends on it. So what does it matter? And second thing he said about was he didn't want to invite many people. He wanted to invite only those whom he knew. I mean, that was ridiculous. How can a wedding be complete without distant relatives, their neighbors, and their friends and colleagues? Like, you might not know them, but what they think about you absolutely matters. And there's something about enjoying your own wedding. I mean, what is that? You get to sit there on stage like a clown, I mean a king, and get loads of photographs clicked. Yes, you might get tweet last, but you get served like a boss, and you get all the gifts. Why would anyone want to miss that? And what would you do with the extra money? Have a better standard of living? No. And there are many benefits also to these big weddings. These generate employment. Yes, the most of the money may go to large resorts and even tiny companies, but the workers also get something. They get to work extra hard for a little bit of extra money, and it's our money. Like, it's up to us how we spend it and how we behave as we want. We have to satisfy our ego as well. You see, there are so many benefits to a large wedding, and I was very intrigued at why my friend had such a small wedding. It was in Goa, but it was nothing like conventional destination wedding. There was no resort, as I told you. We stayed in some beachside cottage, but the view of this with a beautiful view of the sea. There were not many people, but we, the close friends and family, did have a lot of fun singing and dancing around the bonfire with just one reception instead of many big events. Even if the food was not large platter, but all the Goan delicacies were absolutely tasty. We did enjoy a lot and had a lot of fun, but it was nothing close to the societal expectations and standards of a wedding. As I told you, it was a very small wedding. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush, for that wonderful speech. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Ayush. So moving back to the theme, do you know when World Book Day is celebrated? Any guesses? When is World Book Day celebrated? Any guesses? Okay, so it is
Although we
celebrated.
are all avid readers, but in terms of this, I think we don't know.
Okay, so it's celebrated on 23rd of April because William Shakespeare was born on the same day, on 23rd of April. So there are many benefits of reading. So from making you smarter to improve your conversational skills. So can anyone say like what are the benefits of reading? Anyone can volunteer?
Yeah, I
Sometimes make you sound smart,
Okay.
even when you are not.
learning new things. And you live a thousand life. Whenever you read one book, you are living one person's life.
Right.
So we do have a chance of living our life. When we read others, different sort of books, we live different lives. So we do get more experience when we read more books.
Right.
I would like to add one thing. So there is a series called Doctor Who, and one of the main lead character, Doctor Who, actually told that like they were stuck in a library and they were being surrounded by aliens, and he said, like the one who is accompanying Doctor Who said that we do not have any weapon with us, and he said we're in a library is the best weapon that you can get, and I think John Wick proved that.
Right. Yes.
Can I go with
Yeah,
very short
sure.
answer?
Sure, Matsi.
It provokes your thoughts. Whenever you're reading, you read a story and you think about it. If it is a very non-fictional book, it's going to provoke such thoughts which are going to change you as a person and how you can change the world. Also, it makes you learn as a person many things which you don't even know, some facts about it. Non-fictional. Fictional, we've already spoken about. Yeah.
Right. So apart from this, so when you read every day, it stimulates your mental activity. So as per a study, one of the prime benefits of reading books is slowing down mental disorders such as Alzheimer's. This happens since reading stimulates the brain and it keeps it active, which allows it to retain its power and capacity. So every part of our body needs exercise to stay healthy, and the same goes even for our brain. So reading gives it regular exercise and keeps it healthy and sound. And it also enhances your knowledge to a great extent, and it reduces your stress and helps you relax. It improves your concentration and memory, vocabulary expansion, and strengthens your writing abilities. It increases your imagination and creativity. So with that, we'll be heading towards the second session, that is the table topic session. For that, I'll be calling the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay. Tanmay is a senior analyst with Flipkart in weekdays and an explorer on weekends, either exploring the city or the new recommendations on OTT. He has been a Toastmaster since 2019, and he has served in PR for club area and division. Currently, he is the president of Speakers Den Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Hello again, everyone, and thank you, Lalita, for reintroducing me. I believe right now everyone knows that I'm an explorer because I'm exploring multiple roles in today's meeting as well. Before I start the table topic session, because I'm back on the game, so may I please request our two more guests to please unmute themselves, come on camera if possible, and introduce themselves. May I please request Vikas first? Vikas, if possible, please come on camera, and you have to answer these 3 questions in 30 seconds. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes. So Vikas, you have to tell us that something about yourself. What why are you here in this Toastmaster meeting? What do you want to gain from this? And something interesting about you.
Okay. So, hello everyone. First of all, it is really good to be here. And my name is Vikas Prajapati, and I work as a software engineer at an MNC. And this is my second meeting in Toastmasters. And what I want to gain from this is like I want to improve my communication skills. Basically, that's my target. And something interesting is about myself is I like to explore. I like adventure and all. So yeah, that's it about me.
Thank you, Vikas. And how do you get to know about Speakers Den?
So basically, I googled it like Toastmasters near me, and I found out about this club.
Hey, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for coming to the club.
Okay.
May I please request Priya, if possible, would it be possible for you to come on camera and unmute yourself? I think Priya is caught up. So Priya has put up her introduction in the chat. So let me just read that for everyone. She's from Bangalore and she recently is taking tuitions at home. And she has been looking for clubs, and this is her first time at Speakers Den. She's currently putting her baby to sleep, so it is impossible for her to come on camera, as she put on the chat. But welcome to the club, Priya. Thank you for joining us. No worries. I know you are a little caught up. It's all right. Thank you for joining, because showing up is winning half the battle. Now, moving on towards our next session of today, we will have another battle for us, the table topic session. Today, we are going with the theme of books and quotes. You will be shown a prompt on the screen and you can choose the book, and you will be given a quote from that book on which you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes with 30 seconds grace. With this, are you ready? Is everyone ready for the table topic session? Let me just share my screen. Let me know if it is visible to all of you. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, I would request you to please raise your hand or unmute yourself and volunteer for the same. Anyone who would like to go first?
Hey, Tanmay, to be frank, I have not read all these books.
It's all right. The quotes are really simple, and you have to use those quotes either as an example or in your this short speech.
Okay, so we have to choose any book. For
Yes.
example, below it. So we have to present one example.
So once you select any book, a quote will show up here. Even I don't know what the quote is.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. It was very.
Would you like to go first, Madhav?
Yeah, sure. I will take a chance here. Yeah.
Awesome. So which book are you selecting?
I will select. I will go with the first, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. There is some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. Your title is There is Some Good in This World, and It's Worth Fighting For.
Yes. Okay. So, can you please make this title visible to me so that I can correlate everything?
Sure. Let me just reshare my screen. Just a second. Yeah. I hope it's visible to you now.
Yes, there is something. Thank you, Tanmay. And the topic, the book, and the second part is I have a quote here. So there is some good in this world, and it is worth fighting for. Definitely 110% or 100%. I will not say 110. 100%. It is a true fact. Because if you are living a life, what is the worth of living a life? Why are you living a life? I can live my life stress-free. I have two options here. I mean, when I say stress, it doesn't mean that you are in a stress. You have to fight for a life, right? If you are not fighting for a life, there is no work. So, like you have to find good in everything. There is a positive and negative. We all say all about this, but definitely we have to look upon this. For example, a baby mosquito was flying in the room, right? And when she came back to her home, her mother asked, how was the flying? How was the experience of flying? Then baby mosquito she told her mother that, okay, it was a wonderful flying. Everybody was clapping for me. So you can understand the positiveness of her mother. Like everybody was trying to kill her, but mother told her that everybody was clapping for you. And she also, like the baby mosquito also told her that everybody was clapping for me. So you have to look all those positive facts in your life. You have to, you don't have to be positive, but your attitude should be in a right way, right? You have to gather as much as information from outside and try to inculcate in your life. This is our motto. And same thing I'm doing every day in my life. I wake up, I try to get something positive from my attitude and try to inbuild in my personality. So there is some good in this world and it is worth fighting for. For example, whatever you're doing, whether you are cleaning utensils, you have to do best. I mean, you can give your best job there, right? So this is the right way to find some good or positive attitude. I will end over here. Thank you, Tanmay, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause for Madhav. Let me just note down your timings. Next, anyone who would like to come up and volunteer? Dr. Pasha. Dr. Pasha, please choose a book apart from the number 1.
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist, one of my favorite books of all times, the book which reintroduced me to reading. So let me pull up the quote from The Alchemist. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. This is a quote by Paul Coelho, which is your topic for the day.
Yes. So we want as bad as we breathe, then we 100% sure that we will get that whatever we want. See, the world always favors the bold, always admires the courageous, and always favors the hard worker. The thing is so what we want, how bad we want, that is very important. So see, years ago, I become very serious. I badly wanted to remove all my mental blocks and my self-limitations. So the world favored me and helped me in all ways. The thing is, if you want it badly, 100% sure we will get it. See, how bad we want is very important. So many things I got in my life is through my grit. See, if I want to become something, see, I will be very gritty. My grit has increased my perseverance and passion to achieve that thing. See, if you pour our heart and soul in it, in our wants, 100% sure it is ours. Nothing is impossible in this world because everything is at constant change. If you have that mentality that our intelligence, our mental faculties, our memory, everything can be changeable. You can become a new you at any time. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pasha. A big round of applause. Now, after the Two Towers and The Alchemist are done, so, oh, sorry, I'm not on camera. Wait. After the Two Towers and The Alchemist are done, we have 5 more topics to go. So who would like to go next? All the guests and members are welcome. If you're not going forward, I'm going to pick you. All right. So I'm going to pick a guest next. May I please request our guest, Vikas. Vikas, you have to choose a book and your topic will be shown on the screen.
Okay. So I would choose Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Perks of Being a Wallflower, a wonderful book, and there's a movie on this as well. A quote for the day is, we accept the love we think we deserve.
Of course. So
And
basically, yeah.
over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Tanmay. So basically, the quote is 100% right. We accept the love we think we deserve. So let us say if we don't think we deserve something, so we basically won't be able to accept that. So in our life as well, like whatever we do, so let us say we do our work or anything like let us say we go give an interview. If we are not confident about it, if we are not thinking that we deserve it, we won't get it. So similar thing to this as well. So basically, we will accept whatever we think we deserve. It's love or uh, a job or it's a responsibility, whatever the thing is. Basically, we'll uh, accept what we deserve. So yes, uh, to add upon, I would say, yeah, that's it from my side. I'm sorry.
Thank you,
Over to you,
Vikas.
Tanmay.
Thank you, Vikas, for the wonderful perspective on we accept the love we think we deserve. While we may not get what we think, but we definitely accept the love in its purest form. With this, I would like to move on towards our next topic, and I would need another volunteer for that. People who have taken speaker role can also come up. People who are evaluators can also show up. All role takers and guests are welcome.
Well, let me try. This is the moment which I dread for, and so let me get over that. So I'll choose a topic book called Less Miserable. So let me try out.
Les Miserables, a book whose picture adaptation also won an Oscar Prize for the best picture. And your quote from this book by Victor Hugo is, "It is nothing to die, it is dreadful not to live." Over to you, Tarun.
Thank you. Let me put my thoughts across. I basically have not gone through this book, neither I've watched the movie. So yes, the quote, "It is nothing to die, it is dreadful not to live," aptly goes with the attitude what I have. Yes, one has to live every moment. There is nothing to fear venturing to a different aspect of life. So what you should fear is of not trying. I think we should live each moment with great zeal and with great zeal. Now I'm stuck. I'm not going any further. So yes, one has to aspire to live life to the fullest and live in the present and not think about past. Make best use of all your opportunities. I think that's the conclusion. So do not dread to live each moment. That's the conclusion of the quote. Thank you very much, all Toastmasters.
Thank you, Tarun. Thank you, Tarun, for living up to this dreadful moment. It was phenomenal. As our beloved Anand has said, Jindagi badi hona chahiye, lambi nahi. And this is what the essence of this quote is.
Yes, and Tanmay, this
Yes.
this thought is very. I mean, it is a very. For me, it's like I will take an example here, and I would make all the audience try to make understand that. I have a multiple hair in my hand, right? Everyone, we don't have control of that particular hair, right? If it wants to fall down, it will fall. You don't have any control. So live your life to the fullest. Do not think upon anything. God will come in your lap and will do everything. Just give your best shot. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you, Madhav. Thank you for adding to the topic. And I believe that is what we should aspire to live for, to live in every moment, to make the best out of every moment. And for that, I would like to request a volunteer next to live this table topic session to its fullest. Who wants to come first? We have 3 more topics to go.
Can I go next?
May I know who is this? Chetna?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you are there. You can choose a book which is not read yet.
Okay. I'll choose the
Oh.
first one, Little Woman.
Little Woman, a wonderful book. Little Woman, and here comes this little woman for this pretty woman. I'm not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship. The quote from Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. Over to you, Chetna.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship. So here, this quote is exactly like, what I am generally. Generally, like, there are so many things we learn in our daily lives. And when, most of it, I'm telling majority of us, when anything new comes up, we fear like, it's a sudden change. I've not been used to it. How will I handle such a situation? Because it's totally new to us. But here, what we have to do is, we have to let the challenge come into our life, and we need to face it boldly. Because there are 2 possibilities. One, you win in that situation and you be successful. Another situation is, you will have to face failures. But in that failure, you'll learn much more than winning. And that failure is the one which helps you to propel forward in life and move forward in life. And finally, one fine day, whatever you achieve and succeed for, that will be phenomenal. So what I want to tell here is, do not be afraid of challenges or the storms which we face, which comes into our life and which we face. Because even if you don't succeed in it, you're learning something new. And failure is, a slow process where, you will be receiving success in future. So never be afraid of the storms, because it's a learning process, and surely one day you will succeed in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetna, for showing us the spirit of the little woman, that we should not be afraid of the challenges that comes into your life. Because if you are afraid of them, you have failed the battle even before it started. With this, may I request another volunteer?
Can I
Because
go?
guys, don't be afraid of this storm.
Can I go next?
Suresh,
Suresh.
yes, I see you here. All right, you can choose a book
The
which is
Kite-
not read yet, and the quote which has not been read yet.
I go with Kite Runner.
The Kite Runner. How many of you have read this book, The Kite Runner?
I've seen the movie of the book.
Read the book and be prepared with tissues and all, because this book touches really deep into the heart. And now presenting you a quote from the book and the movie adaptation, The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, for you 1,000 times over. Over to you, Suresh.
Good afternoon. I'm really confused, which is this, what it's mean for, but I have for you 1,000 times over. What I take it as like the opportunities comes, but if you accept it and then take it forward, then definitely you will end up with either with some success, or if you don't take up anything there, neither you get experience or an success, but it is unattended. But it's always to take any kind of challenges or opportunities you come across and then accept it, work hard. If you don't know anything about it, study, get a knowledge, find a way to solve it, and then make benefit and then take it forward. So that's what I understood. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Suresh. Now we have, how many topics are done? 6. We have one more topic to accommodate today. And for that, I believe Lalita was raising her hand.
Yes,
Lalita, would you like to go?
I'll try.
Awesome. So you can choose a book from here.
Below?
Beloved.
Yeah.
All
below.
right. And your topic from the Beloved is Love Is or It Ain't, Thin Love and Love at All by Toni Morrison.
Can I change the topic?
Sure.
Okay.
For you 1,000 times over.
I'll go for The Color Purple. I've not read the book, but
The Color Purple.
yeah.
Well, purple is definitely the color of royalty from the ancient times. And your quote is, time moves slowly, but it passes quickly. The book by Alice Walker.
Okay. So I agree with this quote. So time moves slowly, but passes quickly. So when we are working on something which is which we are enjoying, the time goes very fast. I think, for example, Toastmaster, it starts at 11 o'clock the session. And I don't know like how it gets over 1 o'clock, 2 hours is just gone. And if you don't have anything in your to do, and if you're just waiting for a person or waiting for a bus at the bus stop, the time doesn't even go. So I agree with that quote. So I also believe time is very important and we have to make the best use of it. So it's normally what we do is even over the weekends, we just watch hours together movies and we just waste our time. So I think we have to also use the time very productively. So say read books or, attend some important topic workshops or training. And we should just, life is full of learning, there's a quote which says that education does not end in school, but it ends only with life. So it's very important for us, to make use of the time and learn things, and we should keep progressing it. There should not be a stop which says that, this is an end. So we should keep learning continuously and we should keep growing. So over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lalita, for showing us the value of time, and it moves really slowly, but passes really quickly. And as Einstein said, time is relative. So you see when some of your relatives come, you will see that time is moving very slowly. But when some of your favorite relatives come, you will see it pass very quickly. Now we have had 7 topics, but I guess we are definitely enjoying it. So I can accommodate one more. Anyone who would like to go next? This is the last topic of the day, by the way. Anyone? All right, I will wait for 5 more seconds.
Okay, I'll go.
All right, Sankhya, you are the person I was waiting for. I was like, okay, damn, Sankhya is not picking up. Sankhya, choose a book.
Now that gives me a very tensed moment. So I'll go for Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, the original horror scare by the mother of the horror fiction, Mary Shelley. And your quote from the wonderful movie Frankenstein is, beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. Sankhya, over to you.
Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. What a wonderful thought. And let me take you back to the time machine a few years back. Well, not a few years, almost 2-3 decades back. I was sitting in the exam hall. Ding dong, the school exam starts. And guess what? Well, for all the backbenchers, let me assure you that when you don't read or write or prepare like the way the first benchers normally do, what do? Well, you play with the mind, whatever comes about. And the exam, you see everybody's writing. And there's the first boy over there who is also taking a sheet. Oh my God. And what do? Ladies and gentlemen, you become fearless. And therefore you become powerful. You become so powerful that you start writing. You start writing and writing and writing. You don't know what you are writing, but you are writing to know the age-old myth that whatever you are writing, if the answer is 2-3 pages more, you are at least going to get 10 marks. Well, that's what I do. I come on writing. And when I completed writing, at the end, there was another dong, the exam ends. Everybody started asking, hey, how's your exam? How's your exam? I was totally fearless. I said, Bindas, it's going to be great. But on the other side, I was having a little bit worried that when the result will come, I don't know what's going to happen, but till the moment, I live like a king. Well, that's my story all about. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay. You're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Sankhya, for making relive those nostalgic, fearless moments from our college life. And with this table topic session is now over, and the control goes back to you, Toastmaster. Thank you. I hope you all had fun.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for this wonderful session and for the amazing topics. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Tanmay. With that, we'll be adding towards
before.
Yes, Tarun.
Yeah, I just thought I'll put across my thoughts in terms of for 1,000 times over. I just happened to see that. So loving someone to an extent that you are willing to do anything, everything for them, even I think benefit of the audience. For the benefit of the audience, it means that.
Yes, Tarun, and thank you very much for researching on the topic.
Yeah, you can carry on.
Thank you, Tarun, for researching on the topic and sharing it for the benefit of the audience. But for you 1,000 times over, a code that you love for your beloved, a code that you can love for the activities that you do, and a code that I can use for nap time. So yes, with this, control goes back to our team on Toastmaster Lalit.
So with that, we'll be heading towards the evaluation session. I'll be calling Toastmaster Mansi to present her report. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Mansi.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Lalita, for calling me up on the stage. Before I give my general evaluator report, I would like to call upon my tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian on the stage, and let them present their report first. Then I'll go ahead with the whole.
Toastmaster Mansi, it will be the evaluation first, followed by the tag team.
Yes, we also have evaluation left, so let's go with the evaluation first. Evaluator Sankhya, please go ahead with your evaluator role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, and a very good afternoon, everyone. Especially my target speaker, Toastmaster Madhav. Toastmaster Madhav, this is your first speech in Toastmaster after you become a member very recently. I would say it's phenomenal. Well, now the topic that you come up with, thought process that makes and breaks you, and then in terms of your content, when you come up with your introduction, I love the flow, how it went. You start off with your introduction, followed by your career, and then you also come up with that how this phrase, thought process that makes and breaks you, how it is related to your life. What a wonderful thought. I would say you are a terrific storyteller, right? And hats off to you, because the first speech which we give, normally people were very nervous, and which I remember. But I can see that you are very calm and composed, and I can see a lot of potential in you. When you will be coming up with the other speeches as well. I would look forward to that. Just a few observations in terms of what could have been improved. One is your camera settings, because it's an online. It's very important that you should sit in front of the light, because at the moment it's just the opposite what's happening, because your face is a bit darker and the light is coming from behind earlier when you were speaking. So in the next one, try to do that, adjust that one. In terms of in terms of your audio settings, this is what I follow if I have to give a speech. Before the starting of the meeting, I will do an audio video check, and I will log into the Zoom meeting, and I will also check that I will also record myself at how my audio video is coming up. Whether there is a problem with the audio, then you use a microphone. If you are using a Bluetooth, sometimes Bluetooth don't function properly, so you can try to use a wired connection instead of Bluetooth. So check all those settings before. That will make your speech awesome. In terms of your body language, though it's not about the body language, but I just wanted to give you this quick input. Towards the starting, your eyes were completely down, right? Although you managed to do that towards the end of the speech, which was a quick observation, and your hand gestures were very much repetitive in nature. It was continuously moving like this. There was no other movement. But of course, since you were sitting, that gives a restriction. But in the next speech, if you're standing and move a little bit aside, I think that gives you more flexibility in terms of your hand gestures and body movements. But apart from that, awesome. And congratulations on your first icebreaker. I wish you all the best, and I hope to listen to your other speeches as well. That's it. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankya, for that lovely and detailed report of evaluation of the speaker. Now let's go ahead with the last segment of the meeting, which is the tag report as well as the general evaluator report.
Mansi, we have two more evaluation.
Okay, let's go ahead with that. You're running short of time. That's the only problem. Sure, go ahead. Over to you, T-Mod. Please call upon the evaluators first.
You will be calling the evaluators as the general evaluator, and then we'll move to the tag.
Let's have the evaluator to report.
Yeah, the second evaluator will be me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. So we see that the feedback is actually called the breakfast. So that's what happens sometimes when we love to see the feedback that is coming up. And for my target speaker, Toastmaster Pasha, you come up with a speech which is about the only power is the self-power. Now, you have been, I have seen a lot of improvement that you are making in terms of the speeches that you are coming up with. There's a lot of improvement. Earlier, that kind of a shell which you were earlier on, there is a lot of pre-movement that you are coming up. But the speech which you gave is towards the motivation. I can see you spoke from your heart, which you also try to motivate about your own life, which is a kudos to you, thumbs up for that. But however, when I come up with the objective of this meeting, this is about your leadership. And in terms of your leadership, there were a lot of things which you could have bring into place, which the evaluation also requires. One is your interpersonal, then your team building, teamwork and building, the problem solving, how do you prioritize, what is the reliability? So these are the things which you need to bring in your speech as well, which will make your speech highly effective. In terms of a few other point of area which could have been improved, one is at certain time you started up with a story. And story being a wonderful thing, you should come up with a story. But before you started up with the story, you said that if time permits, I will tell you a story, right? So when you give this wording that if time permits, it means that you are not in control of your speech. You don't know that whether you are going to exceed your time or not. And in Toastmasters, we are very much particular about your timing. So when you scripted your speech, you should be well aware of that how much time you are going to spend on your story, how much time each of your activity is taking. So that will give you a holistic overview. So even if you are lagging behind your time, so do not never use the word if time permits, then I will go ahead with, right? So just ignore it, just control your story. Sometimes you may have to go a little bit fast in terms of your rate of speech so that the time can be squeezed, but it's always a good idea. Consult your mentor and practice a lot so that you know that exactly if I have 5 to 7 minutes of timing, then where should I complete my speech? If I have to move out some extra part from my speech, which is not value adding to my speech, you can remove that. So this type of practice is needed, but but I would wish you all the best, Toastmaster Pasha. I would love to hear your next speech as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for taking up dual role as an evaluator. It's a great task to listen to each and every speech and give the detailed evaluation. Kudos to you. A good round of applause first, and we should follow the practice of just open up the mic and give a good round of applause to our evaluator today. Now let's come to our TAG report, which is the
we also have
who's the third evaluator? Okay, so
well, at least you are right to
quarter
call the
role
timer.
taker today.
At least you are right to call the
Quarter
timer.
Sure. No,
And the
no.
evaluator as
Firstly,
well.
we'll give a round of applause to our evaluator third, which is none other than our quarter role taker, Toastmaster Tanmay. No introduction needed. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, the general evaluator of the day, for calling the evaluator 3 for our target speaker, Toastmaster Ayush from Gabby's. Toastmaster Ayush, a wonderful and phenomenal speech on a collection of humorous stories on India's favorite topic of the big fat Indian wedding. What a time to choose this topic. While there are wedding reels all around on Instagram, when all of us are traveling around India to attend different weddings, there could not be a better timing than this for this topic. And with this title, you definitely caught all of our attention. The moment you asked, how many of you love attending wedding? I was about to answer, yes, me, I attended 4 weddings in 1 week. But then you move forward. Then in your speech, I have noticed a lot of good points. And I would like to call out all of them because the good needs to be recognized. First of all, you decided to give this speech in a standing position. And it actually prepares you to be a better speaker. Because in a real life scenario, outside of this Zoom window world, most of the time when we present a speech or we are giving a thesis or talking to any clients, we are in a standing position. It also helps boost your confidence, elevate your body language, and present your thoughts more structurally. There's a psychological impact of standing position. Secondly, throughout your speech, I noticed that you maintained your eye contact by looking at the camera lens, which is a very hard thing to achieve in a Zoom background because most of the time we look either at the screen or we are staring at ourselves like this because we all have a narcissistic little person living inside us. It appeared from your speech that you have prepared it repeatedly because every sentence was carefully practiced. It has surgical precision to it with every word that followed your current word. Every sentence was tactical in nature. And with use of words like societal expectations, you definitely raise my expectation as evaluator to ensure that I give you a proper evaluation. So now let's come to some of the points which I think could have been better. As I was mentioning that you opened your speech with a question. How many of you love attending weddings? But before I could open my mouth or tap the button to raise my hand or actually raise my hand, you move forward. While opening a question, because your objective is to connect with the audience, you should be aware of your audience, whether are they responding to the question or not. So that is an important factor. Overall, your speech was very fast-paced, and that is the only not so good thing which could be improved and noticed in your speech. As per the timer report, which I will be presenting shortly, you conclude your speech in around 5 minutes. You crossed the threshold, but you had 2 more minutes which could have been leveraged, which you could have utilized. I wish you best of luck, and I will share the evaluation resource with you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Over to you,
Toastmaster, our timer and evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay. Can I call you back again on the same stage? I think I need to pin you, spotlight you today for all the roles taken. Please go ahead with your timer report.
Today we had a great session. Our meeting started at 11:06 while we were waiting for the people to join in. And right now it's 12:42, so we are well within time. We could have done slightly better on our starting time, but looking at the individual reports of each section, there is not a single person who has been disqualified today. With Toastmaster Pasha making the best of his time with 7 minutes 28 seconds in his prepared speech, and Toastmaster Ayush taking only 5 minutes 4 seconds, leaving 2 minutes to be utilized. These could be taken notice of and could be improved going forward. Our guests did good today. All of them met the lower threshold of 1 minute in the table topics. I wish them best of luck, because with practice, you will improve this further. And as a Toastmaster for the last 3-4 years, I've observed this. And we have Dr. Toastmaster Pasha, who in his first meeting could speak for less than a minute, and now he's taking full 7 minutes 28 seconds with leaving only 2 seconds of the grace period. So do join in again, and thank you very much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Tanmay, for your very precise report and just talking about who met and who didn't met the timelines today. Now, I would like to call upon my counter grammarian and a very lovely person who took up the role and gave me the introduction at the last moment. I called her before the meeting. None other than Toastmaster Chetna. Please go ahead with your counter report.
Hope you're able to view my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So today, coming to the role takers, Lalita had used so a couple of times. Tanmay used fillers are twice. And coming to the speaker, Toastmaster Madhav used 5 times, and he repeatedly used the words and the. And coming to Toastmaster Pasha, he used are twice. And Toastmaster Ayush, he used 7 times, and he repeatedly used but twice. Coming to the evaluators, Sankhya had used 4 times, and he repeatedly used the words and but. Tanmay used twice. Coming to table topics, Toastmaster Vikash used 9 times, and he used so thrice. Toastmaster Pasha used twice. Toastmaster Chetna, that's me, I used twice. Toastmaster Lalita had used 3 times. Now coming to the grammarian report. Today, some of the good usage which I found was build our inner self, manipulated, and perseverance, and grit used by Toastmaster Pasha. And there were rather good usages by Toastmaster Ayush, such as enumerous delicacies. And Toastmaster Mansi used the word provoke, and Toastmaster Madhav used the word incorporate. Toastmaster Tarun had used good usage words like zeal and aspire. Toastmaster Sankhya had used words like awesome and holistic. Coming to not so good usage, make my audience engage could be better said as engage the audience. Parents is there could be better told as parents are there. Become interested could better be used as got interested. Not able to understand, could not understand. Watch us together, watch for us. And today's word of the day was phenomenal. It was used by Toastmaster Pasha twice, and by Toastmaster Sankhya once and Toastmaster Tanmay once. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetna, for your report. And now let me give the report of our phenomenal meeting. I know you'll not be able to count it now. So this was a phenomenal meeting, and I'll give my report in a GWGI format. What is GWGI? What went great, well, glitch, and improvements. Great. We had a slight confusion over the role takers at the last moment, but we managed it well by taking multiple roles. Although I don't encourage, because that gives lesser audience to take roles, but kudos, we managed it. T-Mod did a great job. I mean, every introduction was well articulated. You had all the details. Your topic was well chosen. You engaged the audience by asking questions. So kudos to the T-Mod. Now I'll come to the well part of the meeting. Well, if everybody got a chance, I might have missed one or two people who were not able to speak in the meeting, but some of the credit goes to our table topic master today. So kudos to him. Then meeting format was very well explained. That's something which went well. But in this, one thing which I could see was Sergeant at Arms could have just spoken that we have our mobile phones just beside our desk or wherever we are sitting. Please switch on or switch off or put them on silent mode so that you don't have any attention issues throughout the meeting and you pay whole attention to it. Now we'll come to the word of the day, which went well. Everything, it was very easy, chosen well, and written in the chat box, which makes easier for the audience. Let's come to the glitch part now. What was the glitch? We had one small technical glitch, which we call with the speaker, that could have been better. Maybe the speaker can connect with the evaluator first. Connect. That's the one and sole purpose of Toastmaster meetings. We had evaluation process, but there were confusion on the topics or theme of the speaker's speech and the evaluation form, which I could see within the meeting itself. Also, we didn't have the flow of the meeting. I was trying to, if this would have been my tug of war rope, I was actually trying to beat this and pull it towards myself that we are running short of time. We opened up the meeting at 11:03. So that's one thing which we can improve. That's not a glitch, but yes, improvement. That's the I part of my matrix. Improve, get more audience in the meeting. More we speak about it, we can get more people and more role takers and more engagement. Check the speaker and the evaluation and the topic prior to meeting. I've already spoken about it. So no confusion, nothing. What is phenomenal about the meeting? Being role takers of 2 to 3 role takers, one person in different hats. Phenomenal was Toastmaster Tanmay. I was awestruck. It was flawless because the way you have put the table topics, if there is any problem in even listening to what was the topic, you had the presentation in front of you and the way you have said as a book and a quote. It was, I have no words left, zip up. That's it. I'll produce my report in the end of the meeting in the chat box or post the meeting is closed. I would like to call upon the stage our presiding officer to call our meeting towards the end.
Thank you, General Wear Toastmaster Mansi, and hello again. I think this is the 4th or 5th time. Now you definitely know my name, my introduction and everything. I can take a surprise viva on that, right? So but hopefully you will not answer that. What I like to explore is different roles in the same meeting. So with this, it has been a wonderful meeting with all the role takers and myself fulfilling like 3 or 4 out of them. So yes, but thanks all of the speakers, role takers, guests for being part of this experience. It's because speakers then it's not just another club. We aspire it to be an experience for all of our members and our guests. And we certainly hope that we will be seeing you again in our next meetings. On that note, our next meeting is going to be wonderful. with a phenomenal speaker, Toastmaster Sridhar, who is a renowned personality in Toastmasters and outside Toastmasters, and he's coming to present an education session on table topics, how to ace this impromptu speaking. So make sure that you are a part of it to experience this with all of us. And you can spread the word with your colleagues, your friends and family as well. Because we want everyone to benefit the most out of it. That's what public speaking is about. That's what mentorship is about. And that's what Speakers Den is about. With this, I'd like to conclude the meeting number 312. And after that, I will be taking your experience of the day. The meeting number 312 is concluded with this bang of this pen acting as a gavel on my phone. Thank you. Toastmaster Sankhya, can we please